Hey, it's Luke Voulgarakis from LV Life, and welcome to your quick tarot for week commencing the 5th of August. We'll be doing all signs today, so you can forward to the timestamp for your sign, which will be in the description. Now, we'll start with 3 general energies cards and then move on to those signs. And also, have you checked out your monthlies? I uploaded those last week, 5 minutes per video as I do quick tarot, and you can catch those on this same YouTube channel. All right, let's see what we've got. So first out for general energies, the 2 of Cups. Second out, the King of Cups. The third out, the Knight of Swords. All right, let's pop these together. The first 2 came out in reverse, but I'll turn them upright for the purposes of you seeing them. So here we go. 2 of Cups in reversed energy. 2 of Cups, you can see one person like reaching out to another here, and we've got this... I got this winged character here, which for me always represents a little bit of divine intervention, like perhaps it's been here on your timeline before you even got to this point in your life. You pre-agreed this before you came into this body. But one person is reaching towards the other, and cups represent relationships or emotions. I think, because it's in this reverse position, that you are being asked to approach your emotions a bit more, to reach out to your emotions, to try and perhaps do a little bit of work in that state, or maybe that's what you have been doing, and perhaps it's leading to whatever's coming on for you this week, but definitely like an aspect of really getting to grips with what's going on inside and looking in a bit deeper, but you taking the active steps to do that, rather than just being reactive to things. This is about actually taking that opportunity to dive in a bit deeper and work on some stuff from the inside. Then we've got this King of Cups, and the King, is born to be on this throne. So in the sense of it being a birthright, and I said earlier about perhaps this has been on your timeline before you've been here, perhaps you are being asked to look into that emotional state, to work with the inner stuff consciously rather than, as I said earlier, reactively, because normally emotions happen reactively, but we want to look emotionally, consciously look at our emotions and really take an active step to do that. But I think this might be leading to an aspect of like it leading you somewhere, to a place where you're supposed to be. Maybe it's going to help with like a course correction, or it's going to bring you to a point in your life where your emotions are matching the place that you are, and perhaps bring this kind of emotional maturity and understanding to you. So I think that you're being asked to do this because it's serving a purpose, like it's taking you to a place that you're supposed to be. And then we've got this Knight of Wands. Now, wands are like a manifestation or creation aspect, and then knights are charging into battle. But when I say charging into battle, when you look at this, like he's not charging in with a sword. He's actually more like, galloping around on his horse with this kind of fancy looking cloak on and the armor and these nice kind of fiery looking things, on his hair and on his arms and stuff there. So it's all very flamboyant and it's very kind of exciting. It's a bit of a show, right? So when we see this, and I tend to feel that this cloak over the armor is representing, you're looking at your things in your past that have kind of hurt you, upset you, traumatized you. And then so you have an armor because of that. You're a little bit more cautious. You're a bit more wise to the tricks that people play. And to have an armor isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's a really good thing. It shows that we're no longer naive, right? But you can still put a fabulous cloak on and still go out there and embrace the world with this kind of layer of protection underneath that cloak. So I think when we put these together, it's really this aspect of working inwardly so that you can show up in the world better. And I think that you're going to be asked to show up, because I think that's what King energy is about. Like you're going to be in a place where you're meant to be, but you need to be kind of emotionally prepared, and you need to be able to show up looking fabulous, but still cautious and sensible, and having your wits about you a little bit. So I hope that made sense. Now let's see how this relates to your individual readings. So remember, forward to your timestamp for your sun, moon, and rising signs, because then you'll get a full picture of what's going on for you this week. So Taurus, Knight of Cups, another Knight and the Cup. So it's very linked with these cards. This person is coming back from battle. He's not charging into battle, and he's looking victorious because he's holding up the cup. His visor's lifted, meaning that, it's safe. And the horse is white, meaning that, again, it's a lighter energy. It's not charging into the darkness. It's kind of coming back victorious and proud and sitting up high there on the horse. So I feel like there's going to be some kind of relationship victory for you this week, and that doesn't have to be romantic. It can be any relationship, any person that we have in our lives. But I just feel like you're onto some kind of winner at the moment with that. So it's going to be interesting for you. I'm keen to know who that is and what that is. So do let me know. All right, Virgo. Let's see. Oh, hello. Flipped a bunch of cards over there, Virgo, but you can't have them all, but I'll give you the top one. So we have got this Four of Pentacles. Virgo, are you sitting fear at the moment, particularly around money? Are you spending too much time listening to the media that's talking about this cost of living crisis? Because I feel like there's this aspect of really holding on here, like really keeping the purse strings tight and thinking and worrying and over processing when it comes to material worth in your world. Now, what we see here is that the universe has got you, right? You've got this pentacle above your head, and then physically in the real world, you are actually fine. Really think down to what's the worst that can happen right now? I'm not going to be homeless because someone will always take me in. I'm not going to be hungry because there are ways and means of getting food and someone's going to feed me. I'm not going to be broke because we live in a world where we have a system that's going to, support us, even if that's only little. But the reality is that you're fine. Physically in the world right now, what have you got to be grateful for? Because you're fine. And the universe is looking after you. So you don't need to just feel this fear. So it's just asking you to let go of some of that fear, Virgo. All right, Capricorn. Oh, the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man hasn't been hung, he's hung himself. And so here he is asking you to review your thinking and your thoughts and your belief system. He's hung himself upside down here with this sun around his head because it's bringing new ideas, new concepts to the mind. So you're being asked to change your view on something, okay? When we think about those first three cards and perhaps some of this processing that you're going through of yourself, it's really time now to think about some of that processing makes me challenge the way that I used to think and feel, and makes me think and feel in a different way. So lean into that new thought process, lean into thinking about things from a different perspective, somebody else's perspective, perhaps. You're only ever looking from your perspective, what's going on for the other person as well. So look at things a bit differently where you can. All right, Sagittarius. Let's see what we've got. The Tower. This came out in reverse. So the Tower card is when everything comes crashing down and it clears the path for something new for you to be able to build a new tower. In the reverse position, I wonder if, historically something's come crashing down, but now you're just going through that inner turmoil of, God, what do I do next? Where do I go next? The dust is starting to settle, but you're just not sure what the next step is, what the next brick for your new tower is. So I would recommend for you just to, again, do all that inner work. Recognize what you didn't want before, what wasn't working, what caused that previous tower to fall, and then look at what do you want. How do you want to feel? How do you want to show up in the world? How do you want to have your material world look like around you? Just really start honing in and looking at what you had before that didn't work and how you can do it differently this time around. All right, Leo, let's see what we've got for you. Oh, the King of Pentacles reverse. Don't let things overwhelm you. When you look at this, that king is in his throne, he's got his pentacles, but he's got so much stuff growing up around him here, right? It's literally overtaking him. So just don't let things overwhelm you. You're in exactly the right place that you're supposed to be. You've always meant to be here. So just don't let that overcome you, right? Because this is about self-worth, and if you are where you are now, it's because somebody else has believed in you or put you there or knows that this is your birthright, or the universe has like directed you to be here. And you might not be feeling worthy enough or confident enough, but know your worth. Don't let it overwhelm you, all these thoughts and feelings that go on in your head that aren't necessarily true. So tell that negative committee to sit down and shut up. All right, Aries. The Magician reversed. Magician is about recreating anything, starting from scratch and bringing things into fruition, whatever you want in every aspect of your world. In this reverse position, again, I think similar to what I've just said for Leo, is maybe you're not sure what you want. Maybe you're not sure, sorry, Sagittarius, not Leo. Maybe you're not sure what it feels like to have options, to have choices, to have a blank canvas to play with. Maybe it just feels a bit overwhelming. So again, focus on all of the lessons learned from the past, the things that you didn't want, the things that you thought you wanted but didn't work out, and then start creating like this new world, literally, and maybe create a vision board like this week and get it up there visually so that you can then start aspiring to that. All right, Gemini. The Judgment card. If you're feeling a little bit judged right now, or are you being a little bit judgy? It's not necessarily about that. It's about tides turning, things starting to move in your favor, but also what comes with that is an aspect of vulnerability and exposure. That's what this nudity is about. That's the kind of concept of Judgment Day, is that you're totally vulnerable and at the mercy of the situation that you're in, right? Lean into that. Right? Lean into being vulnerable, lean into not knowing what's going to happen, and you can't control a situation now. It just is what it is, and it's out of your hands. Lean into that and show your vulnerability, show your fears, your emotions, your feelings, your excitement, your joy, your thoughts. Like, really lean into that. And then the tides will turn. The tides will come in your favor, right? It's just things are changing. Things are changing and there's nothing you can do about it but ride the waves. Okay, Aquarius. Hello, Aquarians. We are not meant to be getting involved in any nonsense this week. So we're not to be wrapped up in drama. This 5 of Wands here, people are kind of fighting with these sticks, but they're not swords. They can't hurt anybody. They can't hurt each other. It's meaningless drama. I think people might be coming into you this week with opinions or views, or might be saying to you, "Oh, are you sure you want to do that? Or is this really the way that you want to go? Or have you actually thought about this?" But just sit back away from that drama. Sit back and think, actually, their right and wrong is not necessarily your right and wrong. Okay, so avoid the drama this week, step back, and just only fight the battles that you need to fight, and just ignore the rest. I'd say don't fight any battles this week, just step away from that drama. All right, Libra. The 8 of Cups that came out in reverse. You're being asked to lean into your moon energy, which means like the darker, more perceptive stuff, the intuition, the thoughts, the feelings, the emotions, all of that internal stuff, right? You're being asked to lean into that and to organize it, right? So I've said this all the time, and I've already said it in this reading once already. Tell the negative committee that meets inside your head to sit down and shut up. So if you've got a lot of stuff going on in your head, you want to organize those thoughts. You want to maybe get it out on paper, maybe make a plan, maybe do what you need to do to get your head out of the way so that you can then lead with thoughts and feelings and emotions and intuition, right, in that moon energy. So you need to get the masculine out, which might mean formulating a plan, getting it out. And then you need to then work on what's left through intuition and move forward with that. And once you've done that, you're going to be really stable and steady inside, and you're going to be able to then go off and explore an adventure, because this isn't going to be stopping you anymore. So get it all out of you this week, and then just really focus on moving with intuition instead. All right, Cancerians. Queen of Cups, is that change of terrain coming up for you, Cancerians? Like, look, you can see this kind of water and land, and maybe she's dipping her toes in a little bit, trying to experiment or try something new. And also the Queen energy is a throne that you've earned, that you've been through the stuff, right? And you've got onto that throne, and you're like, okay, now I'm here. I feel safe and secure. This is relationships as well, so maybe that's good in a sense of the people around you, supportive and uplifting you, and maybe that gives you the kind of freedom or the courage to just go and try something. I just feel like you need to try something new this week. All right, Scorpio. We've got the Knight of Swords in reverse. So I mentioned earlier about, when knights go rushing into battle, like this one. This is in the reverse position, like don't rush in. You know that phrase, fools rush in? You don't want to go charging into anything this week. You want to actually hold back and assess from a distance before you go taking on everything. So you might be feeling more reactive this week, and you're being asked to be actually more passive, to sit back and just to observe what's happening, be a bit wiser about things rather than just always charging forward. If you've got an opportunity, or like someone's doing a sales pitch on you and they're high pressure selling and they're telling you must make a decision now or you're going to lose out, that's okay not to make that decision. It will still be there. If it's meant for you, it will still be there. So don't rush in this week. All right, last one, Pisces. Oh, Pisces, the Four of Swords. Hang out. Just stop, rest, pause, and hang out. Sit with the stuff that's been going on with you, the emotions, the battles, the challenges. Just sit with them. Rest, right? Get yourself stronger for the next one. Don't, again, like I actually just almost said this somewhat similarly with Scorpio, like don't rush into things, but it's not necessarily rushing in. It's like, just don't take anything on. Just sit back. Look at what's been going on in the past. If we think about those first three cards, like lean into some of those feelings and thoughts and emotions and start processing that stuff to make yourself stronger for the next thing, because life isn't smooth sailing, right? Life, it would be silly of me to tell you that, because life is always like this. So something inevitably will come up, and it's not saying it's coming up this week, it's just inevitably something will come up. So this week is about getting stronger for when something else comes up. All right, well, I hope that resonated. I enjoyed doing those readings today. I've had a super productive morning. I've made muffins and I've made a curry and I've made some chocolate things. And now I've recorded these videos. I'm feeling very, very productive today. So I hope that you have a productive week ahead. And that you do all that processing that we've been talking about, and that you are feeling good and ready. All right, take care. If you want a private reading, visit me at lvlife.com. And if you'd like to make a little donation, I have got a Buy Me a Coffee link and a PayPal link in the description. And have a wonderful